All right, folks, welcome to the first episode of Catching Up with Greg, the podcast that's going to be covering BB Snap, following Brian's game, taking in different players from the game, people around the game, and focusing on whatever the hell I want, I guess, because this is my podcast. So today, on the first episode of the podcast, we have Emery here, everybody. Welcome, Emery. Emery, say hi to the audience.
Hey audience, it's your boy fucking Emery, Sugar Pimp M over here, and I've come a long way up in this community, like when I first joined this game and stuff, I was nothing but an alcoholic with a dream. A very big dream, you could say the least.
Yes, very big dream that we all have as we get out of Brian's game and keep playing Brian's game. It seems like we're all becoming alcoholics, doesn't it? So, Emery, man, you are the marketing associate, the entrepreneur, the investor. How do you like to be? What do you like to be called? Because you're a big part of Brian's game. What is your title?
I'm a man. Not of many names, Like I'm a legend, People think of this game like you guys may not know me, the newer people, but like I am a legend, and I invest in the future. I invest in these young lads, bright stars left and right, because it takes some guts to play this big brother for Brian, because it's a matter of community, it's just a matter of a game, and I sponsored since season 17, and let me tell you, season 16 was not on Instagram at all. Season 17 was the first season to be on Instagram, and that was actually my first season that I sponsored. So I feel like coming from then, it's been a long way, it's been a journey. I've sponsored the biggest seasons, like 30 Winners at War 1, season 60 Winners at War 2, and these are definitely some big name seasons with big name players,
I agree. And so, needless to say, you are probably one of the most influential people that are in this game, because you bring the money.
I would say so myself, I am the money maker. I'm an entrepreneur, I got ladies on the left, ladies on the right. Yes. Sometimes, I invest,
ladies
things
on
like
the
that.
left,
I invest
ladies
in
on the right.
When I invest, it's like, this game is just, it was lovely, as I was saying, and I invest because I want to make other people's days, It's not just about, like, the money, but it's just like, imagine if you're playing for money, you're more motivated, You get the best out of the people. Because, those people want that money. They want to win host favorite. They want to achieve that. Because, it's a grand opportunity, Playing a game you love and you might earn money in some of the seasons, like, that's big for some people.
Yep. I agree. I completely agree. I've played in some of the seasons, and when there's money on the line, it definitely is more of an incentive. And we thank you all we thank you for doing that for us all. I didn't really introduce myself too much, but I'm Greg. I'm pretty much retired from Brian's game unless a good season comes around. So if there's any of you new guys listening, it's because of you that I'm retiring, because the game is not quite what it is anymore. But that's why I am here to bring my perspective and the perspective of others out to the new players. And maybe some of this will, influence them to play a little differently. So, Emery, as an entrepreneur, as someone who's mainly on the outside but also does play Brian's games, what do you think about the newer players here? Are they trash, or are they're bringing something new that I can't really see here? Let's get your perspective.
So I'm gonna be honest, I played the first inaugural season of Snapviver. That was kind of fun, Like, I wasn't a flop, but it was kind of crazy to see some of the players and, like, see a different game like Snapviver and obviously Brian's universe. But I just played the challenge season 2 in Brian's universe, and let me tell you, I am not good at math like I once was. Like, in my early days of Big Brother for Brian, I was a math genius. But I flopped the math comp. I was second boot. But what I'm gonna tell you right here is these new young bucks and up-and-coming players, they are kind of kicking my ass a little bit. They're putting me in a retirement because, like, I'm not as good as I once was. Maybe it's because I can't drink, because I got a bracelet on my ankle. But, like, I just don't have that oomph I used to have. True. And these new players coming into the game are just, there's something, crazy. They're a force to reckon with, Like, they might start aging out a lot of our old vets because we're seeing a new and upcoming body,
So that's an interesting way to put it. Now, do you ever think that these new players are pushing out the older players because of complaints that they're making and sensitivity due to how's a good way to say this?
When we come, I know what you're saying. When you come to something like that, yes, they are slightly soft because nowadays people, like, they get hurt by small things and small words. It's like, back in the day, in our day, like it used to just be straight
Yes, back
savagery,
in our day.
people going at each other, destroying one another, and now everybody like pops up in their DMs. Oh, how's your day going? How's your life been? Like they're just like trying to get to know you. People are here to play the game, not to get to know your backstory. Because sometimes, you know what? Nobody gives a fuck. Well, oh yeah, nobody gives a fuck sometimes. But
Nobody gives a fuck.
I guess that's the way you. Yeah.
Nobody does. Or they shouldn't. It's it is. That's a whole new game dynamic where, and this is where I kind of started losing it a lot of the time. Is I wouldn't add everybody back, and that was a big complaint against me. Emery, what do you think about that? Is adding people back on Snapchat and talking to them daily? I just think that's ridiculous. It's a waste of time.
Sometimes it is ridiculous because what are you literally doing? Talking, getting to know somebody. The next thing you know, you just take them out the next day. Like, you literally just build up this momentum just to be like, oh, I'm going to just off you just the next day. It's like, you're already popular enough. You don't need no new people up in your life. Like, you already got your circle, man.
See, I think
it don't make sense to me.
I'm going to have to get one of these young people up here soon to explain some of this stuff in their side. But I think that'll be an interesting argument between me and one of them.
Do you know what's another interesting topic, too? Is the new slang. Have you ever heard of, like,
slang.
Riz?
My old slang isn't welcomed on this podcast, so. Which
is kind of, like, it's kind of crazy. Like, why can't we respect each other's slang, Like, you guys want to bring in Riz, I'm him type of stuff nowadays?
Hate that.
It don't make sense.
I barely even know what that is. What's the second one? The I'm him? What is that?
I'm him? Like, what does it mean? You're, like, king or something? Like, you're not king. Step down, like, queen, king, sister, whatever. Like, bro, we're in a game. It's a battle to the death.
Can you get canceled for saying I'm him? Because what about her?
I don't get canceled.
Can someone be her?
They don't say I'm her. I don't know if anyone can be her. I feel like you can be her, but like, is it I might have to go around and ask him, like, are you her? But like, if I say you're him, it's like, I am thee. It's like, what do you mean you're him? What does it mean? I don't know.
It's interesting. Well, Emery, I have a couple questions for you that I'd like to really kind of keep this free flowing for the most part and just keep it going like a conversation. But how much do you spend usually on some of these seasons here that you've sponsored? And then how much in total would you say as well?
How much? Okay, so we start back from my first season. Like I think it started off with a simple just $60. Just kind of going like the first, second host fave. It was like 2015. Then as we got to like bet seasons, it turned into like 100 to 150. Winners at War, I can't give you Winners at War Part 1, like season 30. I can't give you a rough estimate, but it had to be like 500, maybe plus. So I don't know. I would have to like go back and do tallying. Mm-hmm. And then you look at season like what's it called? Season 60. There we go. That one I did 250 and I think an extra 20 for like something else, like a meal or something. So that was like 270 in that season. And then you have the challenge, not the challenge, excuse me, Snap Viver All-Stars, like season 7, I actually sponsor that too, if you guys didn't know. So I do sponsor all 3 of them, just haven't done a challenge yet. But if you have to put a grand number on the total things, it's above 1,500. It's at least 1,500. Wow. It could be in the 2,000s. I just don't know,
No, that's incredible. That's a great investor right here. And when it comes to investing into this game here, what do you get in return for all this?
So for me, what I get in return, it's more of like the fact that I feel like I make people's day. When people get into the season, they find out that they can make money. And then when they actually achieve their dream of like getting first place, getting second, and they earn that, they just feel rewarded. And for me, it just feels like I'm making people's day because they need this money, Maybe they got something going on. Maybe there's hardship going on out there. I'm like a man to say pay it forward. If I can help somebody in any way, I will do it because money, just money, like I could care less, I could be the brokest person out there, but it's just, I love everybody and love the community. It's just a grand place,
That's very charitable of you. You're a very charitable guy. And you hear that here first, folks. If you're under the poverty line and don't have a lot of money, you can come play BB Snap. And it'll be worth your while here, where dreams come true. This is where dreams come true.
And this is where dreams can be broken as well.
This is where dreams can be broken as well. Emery, tell me a little bit. Tell me a little bit about your journey here, meeting the host Brian, who's not here but should hopefully be here, and some of the upcoming episodes, and we'll get his perspective.
So if you guys want to know, like, all right, so like this is a good question because like, how did I come into this community? Because obviously this is probably one of the best financial decisions Brian's ever made in his like career for this game as a whole, and it happened back in, I think it was May of 2020. So let's first of all though, how did I meet Brian? It was probably around 2013, Black Ops 2, Xbox 360. Back in the days where you could literally trash talk and say whatever the fuck you wanted on games and not have to be like feeling like you're gonna get canceled or wrecked. But anywho, let's get back to the story on hand. He asked me if I wanted to play this Big Brother game. So I'm over here like, what the fuck's Big Brother? I've never watched a season of this. I don't even know what reality TV is, besides, like Jersey Shore and Kardashians, but that's a whole nother level. But, he asked me to play this game, and I was like, can I drink? My main thing was, could I get drunk while playing this game? Because, back in that day, I was drinking every day, so it was a hobby. And he said, yes, sure you can. So I drank, and I didn't know what the hell I was doing. But somehow this guy out of nowhere won like a total of 5 comps that season, made it to the end, dragged somebody to Final 2, and I guess quote unquote got robbed from a salty jury is what they say, which I didn't know what that meant. But yeah, you are looking at somebody who should have won season 16 in my eyes, the eyes of a lot of people. But you know what? If I had to say something, to be honest, fuck Tommy's, but that's a whole nother story for another day.
We will revolt. Season 16 winner, Emery. You will rightfully be crowned season 16 winner. We're gonna have to go find your other. What was the name of that girl that was your challenge? Veronica, Victoria.
Victoria. Yeah. What happened to her?
I don't know, but we're gonna have to get her on here, and we're gonna have to get you a little time with her to talk about season 16, and maybe we'll host our own final round here together.
Yeah, maybe I'll want me one or two to find out who's actually truly the best. I will take her down. We gotta locate her.
Well, that'll be coming up on the Catching Up with Greg podcast, then, won't it? I think it'll have to.
Yeah, indeed. It shall. I think you're right. I deserve. What's the word? What's that word? When you complete something, like what's the closure?
You need some closure.
I need goddamn closure.
Yes, you need closure. That is what you need.
Yes, indeed.
Nice. All right. So, with that being said, Emery, what do you think we should be showcasing here on this podcast? This is the pilot episode, man. This is the pilot episode. Me and you, mano a mano, pilot episode of Catching Up with Greg. How was your time on Catching Up with Greg so far, man?
My time, I think, is excellent right now. This is like the start off, this is the kickoff, and it's kind of good that I'm here because, I've been in a lot of inaugural things for, like, Brian's, like, a university, you could call it. But I feel like here, going forward, you're going to get old people, maybe old people that have had beef with each other, come on this podcast and try to settle out, duke it out. Are they friends? Are they not friends? Is there still hate going on in this world? Is that a thing? Like, I feel like there's a large opportunity for this game to go.
Yeah. I think, it's going to be a great ride. So if you want to get on the Catching Up with Greg podcast, let me know. And then we're going to be pulling people on. I'm hoping to get a guest on every time, or at least every other time.
There's another thing I actually forgot to mention.
Yeah,
Greg.
Shoot, man.
I'll say it, guys. So actually, if you stay tuned and you keep watching these, like, Catching Up with Greg, we're going to implement gifting out Nitro. Obviously, not by me, but, like, we're going to gift out Nitro to people who, like, actually stay tuned and watch the entire episode. We will figure out what to do to, like, engage you, but you're going to have to watch the entire episode to earn that Nitro or have a chance to get entered in a giveaway for Nitro.
See, as the entrepreneur, thank you, Emery. I wasn't sure we were going to release that, but yeah. Emery, the gracious entrepreneur and influencer he is, we're going to be hoping to gift out some things like Nitro in the future and get this ball rolling. We have a lot of plans for building up merchandise and this podcast and doing other things, but one step at a time, folks. So please show us your support. Follow along wherever you're listening to this. And, we're going to keep these episodes pretty short and sweet, to the point. And again, if you want to be on the podcast, please message one of us. However you know us.
Also, Remember one more note, we can talk about something real quick, just a quick little rundown.
Go
Have you
for
guys
it.
ever heard of a lovely place in Massachusetts called Cape Cod? Greg, what's Cape Cod? Do you know what that
Oh,
is?
Cape Cod, fantastic place. We're going to be hyping up Cape Cod a lot because we have the Cape Cod trip of 2023 that we're going to be inviting you all to if you can afford to pay your portion of the room. We're going to be getting an Airbnb. We want you. Yes, we want you coming to Cape Cod with us. A few years ago, what was it, 2021, Emery? 2021, I think.
2021. We got
2021.
people.
There's about 10 of us or so, bunch of people. We all met up at the Cape Cod, Massachusetts, eastern side of Massachusetts. And we're doing it again this year. It's going to be big. It's going to be a great time. We're going to be getting shit-faced. We're going to be recording. We're going to be doing a lot of great things. So yeah, stay tuned for more updates on that. We're going to be hyping it up, though. But if you want your time at Cape Cod, and if you're part of the BB Snap community, we all know you. You know how to get a hold of us on the Discord server. And, yeah, tell us what you can do to contribute. And we're finding Airbnbs now. And, yeah, it's going to be a great time. So get on that Cape Cod trip. More details will be coming. All right, Emery. You want to leave the folks out with... you want to give them a little speech to end this episode here?
The
speech? Pilot episode?
All right, closer remarks. All right, it's your boy, Sugar Pip M over here. You guys already know. If you didn't know me, well, now you know me. What did I do? How did I get here? What am I? I'm a sponsor, but I don't like the word sponsor, so just refer to me as Sugar Pimp M because I think that flows off the tongue. I'm like a young buck out here in this world. But, I just want to say, guys, I hope you guys are all flawless as hell days, having a good time, enjoying life. If you drink, oh, fuck yeah, it's amazing. If you don't drink, well, there's NAs for a reason. But, with that being said, you guys have a good week.
Have a good week, folks. That is Emery here for the first episode. I'm sure he'll be back with us. And, thanks for catching up with Greg, guys. I'll see you in the next episode.